Refugees have been coming to the U.S. since the U.S. was created. But in 1980, the Refugee Act created a legal avenue for refugees to come here based on humanitarian grounds and to integrate into society and to eventually become citizens. So since 1980, every year, Congress and our president set a ceiling of how many refugees can come to the U.S. through the 1980 Refugee Act. So this year was the 30th year of the Refugee Act. Millions of refugees have come to the U.S. Many of them come through the Refugee Act. Others arrive here and then apply for asylum, which is kind of a different avenue. But in terms of the U.S. refugee resettlement program, this year there's a ceiling of 80,000 refugees who can come to the U.S. In the past decade or so, it's been about 70,000 people per year. And how people come to the U.S. through the U.S. refugee program is they are identified by the UN Refugee Agency and other entities, and then their cases are forwarded to the U.S. government, and then they go through a series of interviews. The Department of Homeland Security, Customs, and Immigration officers do an interview, and those officers decide or adjudicate the case. And if they decide that a refugee is actually a refugee and has a claim of persecution and cannot return home, then they'll approve them for resettlement. And once people are approved for resettlement, then they go through a series of steps that include security checks, medical exams, cultural orientation classes, and then interaction with organizations on this side that prepare to receive them. And once all those things are in place, then a refugee travels to the U.S. So through this program, every year, tens of thousands of refugees come to our shores, and in 5 years, they can apply for citizenship.